Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Mimi.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Tracy.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you on this windy, rainy, gloomy day. We've got a few jobs to take care of, but to start us off, it's moving day. Right now, we're working on pulling everything out of the germination greenhouse that no longer needs to be in the germination greenhouse. Some of these plants, they're over an inch tall, and when you look at these kale, I mean, it's obvious that they don't need to be in the germination greenhouse any longer. Because if we leave these plants in here for much longer in these warm temperatures, well, those plants are gonna shoot up really tall. And to prevent that from happening, we move our plants down into a lower greenhouse where it's cooler, so they don't just shoot right up. That's our first truckload of cole crops moved out of the germination greenhouse. Now we just have to go down and unload them. We also loaded up some peppers here. We got orange bell, poblano, sweet banana, hot wax. These are all gonna need to be transplanted at some point. What are you taking our door off for?
I'm lazy.
Before we can move all of our cole crops in, we gotta get this little pallet of soil out of the way so we can put more pallets down.
Yeah, I could turn the heat up in here on that.
Next is Blue Vantage. It is really windy today. That wind is moving. Oh, your camera. Is everybody okay? The wind just took you right off the truck. Just got everything unloaded. Now we're heading back up top to get more. Now the big difference between the germination greenhouse and greenhouse number 6, where we're storing everything, is that the lowest temperature it can get in the germination greenhouse is like 70 degrees. And by moving them into greenhouse number 6, it makes it much easier for us to transplant them out in the field because they're used to those colder temperatures. Because the lowest it can get is 45 in that greenhouse, it allows them to be accustomed to it so the plants become more hardy. Things like that will help you in the long run because when we have to transplant these plants, we want to make sure that they have the best start possible. And by moving them into a colder greenhouse, that helps out a lot. While we're moving all of this stuff, we're communicating with one another so that we can keep all the kinds together. And by kinds, I mean different varieties. So right now we're working on emerald crown broccoli, and if we can keep the kinds together, it makes it easier on us when we're putting them into greenhouse number 6. For example, they just took the last of the emerald crown. Now we're moving on to imperial. That wind is really blowing. We got another truckload ready to head down to greenhouse number 6. You know what this is called?
Tumbleweed.
Now, when you look at this truck, it may not look like much, but when I look at it, I think about all the people that we can feed with this truckload right here. And not just that truckload, but everything else that we brought in is stuff that we're eventually going to harvest and sell to our customers. So these aren't just trays that are full of plants. This is somebody's dinner one day. This is somebody's snack. This is gonna fill someone's belly, which that's pretty cool to me when you really think about it. Stopping and thinking about little things like that, it really helps to keep you motivated while you're farming. Because you know you're feeding people and you know you're taking care of your family. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to stay motivated with farming, but that helps us. Thinking about how we can help other people and the family. Did you do kohlrabi or kale?
No matter.
Okay.
I brought kale. I didn't understand the question at first.
Yeah, I was seeing which one you brought, so I know what. We just got everything moved in. We put some of the cole crops in the back because that was the only place we had room. and we filled up this whole right side along here. We took some of the plastic off of our door so that we had easy access. However, we wanted to make sure that we closed that up. We have two fronts that are hitting us at the same time. It's gonna bring some nasty weather. They are talking severe thunderstorms, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what's going on. We're expecting a lot of rain all day today. Hence the reason why it's so windy. Those two fronts are colliding. And we're gonna see what we deal with. Hopefully it's nothing too severe. Where we live in Pennsylvania, fortunately, we don't deal with too much severe weather, but this is something that can occasionally happen. It's really starting to come down out there. It is not nice. We had to get a truckload of baskets out of greenhouse number 3 here. We got our truck full. The only problem is it really started raining during that time. But it's the time of the year. What are you gonna do? Complain about it? I've tried. It doesn't really do much. Whoa! Why is it never raining in the greenhouse?
Just the roof, Andrew.
Gavin knows his stuff.
Raise the roof, baby, raise the roof.
The plastic is the roof.
So it's a plastic roof.
Yeah.
The kid's got it going on.
Tags are going flying. Well, that should about take care of our morning. We got the animals taken care of earlier. We got our plants moved down, and it's time for lunch. Hold on to the hat so you don't lose it anymore. Meatball hoagies, check it out. Guacamole. We're heading into greenhouse number 3 now. We just got finished with lunch. We're gonna be filling up some trays to transplant peppers. We're gonna be working on filling some 32s, the little single pots, and some 806s for transplanting peppers. Now all those peppers we seeded before, they're at the size where they're ready to transplant, which is what we're gonna be working on. So we need trays filled. Have you ever transplanted peppers?
I don't remember. I might have.
I even have the door open for you. Watch your eyes, Gavin, when you come through the doorway.
We got all of the trays filled. We moved some down, and we're in greenhouse number 4. And we're gonna be working on transplanting these peppers. Now the difficult thing with the peppers is there's not too much to transplant. The problem is every tray you see is a different variety. So when it comes to tagging and keeping everything in order, we have to be very careful because you can mess things up quickly. And the last thing we want is for someone to buy a bell pepper and they get it home and it turns into a jalapeno. That would not be a good salsa. Well, maybe it would be. Yeah, we just don't want that problem. So we're getting started. Gavin is working on hot cherry peppers and we're working on jalapenos. So Dad is doing the 32 tray, the singles, and I am working on the packs. There we go.
To break them apart, okay? Don't plant the two of them.
Really?
Yeah, I broke a lot of stuff on it too. It's been pretty unstable.
Pretty unstable. Now when it comes to transplanting peppers, we have to be very careful with our roots. As you can see, we have good root development from our plugs. Now as we're transplanting with the stick, we are taking the base of the pepper and pushing it down firmly, but also carefully so as not to break those roots off. Now with tomatoes, you don't have to be as careful with the roots, but peppers, those are a different story. We want to make sure that we don't break off any of the roots, and we try and keep as much of the roots intact as possible. Because this is kind of a shock to the system with these peppers. When you're pulling them out of their plugs and planting them into a new spot, the same thing happens when we're planting into the field as well. So to keep stress on the plants as low as possible, we do our best to be very, very careful. Now there are times where you will break a plant, but we want to try and keep that to a minimum because in the end that actually just costs us more money. So we're trying to be careful and get all of these trays filled.
You might have to go over to number...
Now, I won't lie, there are some jobs that are worse than others. Picking peas, for example, that is not a fun job. Sometimes picking cherries I don't like, especially when you pick raspberries first and get cuts on your hands. But doing this job, it's not too bad. And when you got a chair, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Andrew, I'm old. I need to sit down. He put his tray on top of my tray.
So you couldn't get your tray because his tray was on top of your tray?
Yeah,
That sounds stressful.
it is. So Gavin,
Yeah.
you know, one day I got a wooden whistle. You know what happened?
What?
It wouldn't whistle. So you know what I did?
What did you do?
I got a steel whistle.
Okay.
I still wouldn't whistle. So you know how I solved the problem?
How?
I got a tin whistle. Now I tin whistle. He's a good boy. I'm gonna take care of him one day.
I am moving on to an Italian sweet pepper we call Italiano. Look at this greenhouse. Can you see everything shaking in here from the wind? Ay, ay, ay. These buildings are really strong, but they move.
Oh, I can see that's pretty close. Scotch, iced tea. It's almost the same thing, isn't it?
They're the same color. That's Matt's two favorite drinks, Scotch and iced tea. What's your favorite drink?
Iced tea? Ah! There's chickens in the greenhouse! There's chickens in the greenhouse!
I have no idea what's going on. I think this greenhouse is gonna fall down. Definitely wine for me. I would have to take wine.
Well, I can understand that. There's never a moment you're not whining about something.
World. What did I do? Why are you attacking me?
Chickens in the greenhouse! Chickens in the greenhouse! Again!
No, I think he needs decaf coffee again. He's been drinking regular coffee.
Yeah, but if you were gonna eat an egg, what would be your favorite kind of egg?
Probably sunny side up.
We call that a dippy egg. But actually, sunny side up's lazy. You need to turn it over a little bit and just cook it a little bit.
That'd be over easy, Dad.
Ooh. I thought you got lost, Daniel.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were worried about you. You were gone forever. Construction.
Oh, that's
Oh.
terrible down there, isn't it?
Lots of construction. Things have been going smoothly. We got another stack of peppers here. There's one over my shoulder that way. One here, one here. We got like 5 or 6 varieties done already. And now we're moving on to Poblanos. Now these are early sale peppers, so we will be transplanting more later on. But we're just trying to get enough there for people that don't live in our general area. They might come and buy some peppers, or people that just live in warmer areas. Because in our area where we live, some areas are 10 degrees warmer than some other areas. People can plant earlier than us sometimes, so we like to have them there and ready. We just bumped bellies. We are moving on to something a little bit different. We're moving on to colored bell trays. Now the way this works is we take a few bell peppers from each kind or each color and we put them into the same pack. So right now we have yellow bell, white bell, orange bell, and purple bell. And we're gonna try and keep those split up evenly. We're gonna try and keep this like a conveyor and not get ourselves confused so that we can make sure that each tray is the same. That way we don't deal with any headaches later on. And it can be difficult skipping over some of these holes, but I've got to remember I'm moving on to a different colored pepper and I need to have them left open. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just trying to make sure everything looks nice. I'm just gonna hang out here and wait for them to bring me the plants, and then I'll put them in line. They growing? This thing needs to do some growing. This is...
The importance of watering right now is you soak them up pretty good, because we just planted them and the soil was loose. So it packs the soil around the roots and seals it up. So it makes it better for the plant.
I always enjoy this once we finish planting and you can look back over all that you've got accomplished. There's a lot of peppers here for sale, and this is only our early stuff. As we go out through the year, we'll get a lot more planted, and we're gonna need a lot more.
Yeah, we keep planting a number of varieties, a number of times, because there's only limited soil in these little packs. So the plant only does so well so long, and then it runs out of root space. So we continue to seed and plant for a couple weeks so we have nice looking plants. The problem is if we sold the people in the garden a plant that was root bound in a pack, they just don't do well once you get them home. It takes a long time for them to start to grow again. So a lot of people think they're doing a good thing when they wait till the plants go on sale at the end of the year and they buy these big plants that are all rooted real hard, and then they get them home and they just don't do as well as ones that are the roots are actively growing.
Because once those roots get balled up, it's kind of hard for them to break out of that. Well, something to keep in mind. Sometimes the biggest, oldest looking plants might not be the best for your situation. But if they work for you, go for it, because if I've learned anything in my young life, it's that some things don't work for us, but they work for other people. We just got the farm market closed up, and you won't believe who came for work? Callie did, right? Now we're heading up to the house. We're gonna see what we're having for dinner tonight. Exciting? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uncle Matt! Get Uncle Matt! Get Uncle Matt! Get Uncle Matt! Ah! What do you think of all this wind? Whoa. Let's go. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. Mommy, we're home. What's for dinner, Mommy?
Tacos.
I just got a box from one of my viewers, and I just want to share this. Notice, this is how it reads. Andrew, saw the last video where Grandpa was whining. I like that word. Thank you, you're on my side. Grandpa was whining about losing the utility knives, and he went ahead and sent us some utility knives. So I want to give a big thank you to Don. We appreciate you.
I got a knife now, I just gotta remember to put it in my pocket.
All right, everyone, we are now sitting at the dinner table, so we're gonna get ready to eat. That means this is where we're gonna be ending the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.